Good morning. My name is Megan Edwards of Focus Communications, and today we're getting a company introduction to Terra Balcanica, which trades on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the symbol TERA. And joining me today is Terra's president and CEO, Alex Mišković. How are you doing today, Alex?
Good morning, Megan. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to your listeners.
So, Alex, as you're a news story for our audience, could you give us an overview of Terra Balcanica and your polymetallic projects?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So Terra Balcanica Resource Corp is a junior Canadian explorer focusing on a very prolific and well-endowed metallogenic belt of southeastern Europe, particularly Balkan Peninsula. There we operate in two different jurisdictions, one being Bosnia, the other one Serbia. In Bosnia, we have our flagship project called Via Gorzanic, 216 square kilometers of land tenure surrounding an existing operational mine, which produces about 350,000 tons of lead, zinc, silver, gold concentrate. There we have diligently worked over the last 18 months and identified three different targets, three different styles of mineralization, which are subject to our current drilling efforts that you can see in the upper left corner here. In Serbia, we have two licenses, one called Kaludra, the other one called Ceovište. About 150 square kilometers of combined land position. And there we target in Kaludra specifically, kind of a typical Balkan epithermal, high grade, close to surface mineralization, lead, zinc, silver, whereas Kaludra is primarily a gold target for us. Our capital structure is fairly tight. Close to half of the entire float is owned by the executives, advisors, directors, and close associates. I'm originally from southeastern Europe, from that neck of the woods, so I have not only a background from the region, but also operational expertise, as I've worked both as an academic and geologist for Canadian exploration companies operating in the region, specifically in Serbia. And of course, we have seasoned board with capital markets and corporate finance team that supports me and my technical team. As mentioned, we are about 90% through our maiden drilling program in the Via Gorzanic, where we have tested a few different targets, and the news flow coming out lately is a testament to the results that we have encountered. The land position here, for those who are not accustomed to southeastern Europe, so we are located in Serbia and Bosnia. The yellow patches show our land position, Via Gorzanic, upper left corner, Ceovište and Kaludra to the lower right. As mentioned, this is, the beauty of working in Europe is that one has access to the abundant infrastructural network, railway links, paved roads, highways, 110 kilovolt power lines are all around. So it's fairly easy to operate, and that's one of the beauties of working in such jurisdictions. Also, this is an ancient mining region, so people are well aware of the mining. They have a history of mining. Many of them living close to Via Gorzanic are either employed by the operating mine or have had somebody who had worked there before. So the license to operate is something that we proudly own, and obviously we want to expand on that initial 2 years of operations in the region.
And now this company is primarily, like you said, operating in Bosnia and Serbia. So what primarily attracted you to these two jurisdictions?
Well, what I realized is that even though Serbia has gained some of the traction and popularity in the last decade and a half, in terms of its potential in the polymetallic space, we know of the successes of the recent discoveries there, Čukaru Nevson's discovery in eastern Serbia. Rio Tinto operates close to our project in Bosnia as well. They're developing the world's largest underground lithium deposit there. So I think the region is geologically very attractive, very well mapped by the former Yugoslav geologists, yet underexplored in the context of modern exploration techniques. So that's primarily the geological potential and technical merit is what attracted us to go there. And as I must say and emphasize the fact that our operational network and the fact that we are very well embedded and connected to the local professionals in the region enables us to be very nimble, very agile, to quickly acquire land tenure, assess the technical merit of any given space, and then either advance it or flip it over. In other words, drop it. So that's exactly what we've done so far. We are on the lookout for another addition to our portfolio in Bosnia, and always looking out for opportunities that might present themselves. Having said that, I want to emphasize that Viogorzanik is our primary focus at the moment, and that's where we are directing most of our attention.
And that kind of leads me to my next question. Earlier this week, you announced some silver results from the Viogorzanik project. Can you discuss some of the latest results and what they mean for the project going forward?
For sure. So Viogorzanik is a land package of about 216 square kilometers divided into 3 licenses that you can see on the left-hand side of this map. It surrounds entirely an operating mine called CSE mine, which with a combined ore grade of about 9% lead zinc combined and about 2 ounces of silver per ton. What we have done is that we have identified 3 different target areas over the course of the last 20 months of detailed systematic geological work on the ground that involved geochemistry, airborne geophysics, radiometry, and obviously standard mapping with the boots on the ground, traversing almost the entire package. We have detected polymetallic, shallow, close to surface, high-grade vein-hosted mineralization in the sector called Čumavići, which is the northwestern target area. Right in the center area called Olovine is a classical porphyry molybdenum copper target, which we have identified by virtue of soil geochemistry and airborne geophysics. And then lastly, on the lower right side and towards the southeast, we have a gold zinc skarn mineralization starting from surface that then projects further south down into the subsurface towards something that seems to be a very prospective porphyry target. So if you want to think of this project in terms of one hashtag or one tagline, it would be 1 district, 3 deposit styles, 7 different metals.
And to end things off for our listeners, please summarize what investors can expect from Terra Balcanica in the near future regarding news flow and project updates.
Yeah, for sure. So just very briefly, before I get to that, I'm going to just emphasize one more time what these targets really are. So we have in the upper left corner on the previous map, Čumavići prospect, which is a 7.2 kilometer structural trend hosting this epithermal mineralization close to surface. We've intercepted some very high-grade intercepts in the last 2 months, and more to come in the next 2 to 3 months as well. So open along strike, open down dip, very prospective area that we obviously will investigate further, both in terms of infill drilling as well as expanding along the strike length. The second target, what I mentioned, Brezheny, is a skarn porphyry target, completely new and virgin discovery by Terra Balcanica, grace of the detailed airborne geophysics. It features trenching on the surface and gold assays on the surface that we have reported in our second press release about 2 months ago. But then even more importantly, it's actually a massive geophysical and geochemical anomaly that we are going to test with our initial maiden holder called Brezheny 001. In terms of what investors can expect, well, I mean, we basically going to be releasing the results of the current maiden drill program. Not only are we focusing on the technical aspects of it and the promise of what's to come, but also like one of the latest press releases featured our additional expansion of the portfolio in Serbia. So we've added Seovište officially to our portfolio, and we are, again, as I mentioned, looking forward to expand our footprint in the Balkans. These are very favorable jurisdictions to work in. They have a millennia of mining history, a world-class geology, I would dare to say, and highly skilled workforce. Having said that, the mining codes and regulatory process is well established. We can obtain licenses within 3-4 months. Clear permitting process is effective, and truly a perfect blend of a European jurisdiction when one can operate advanced project fairly rapidly with a history of mining, yet having all the benefits of, I suppose, of developed countries and EU member candidates, such as relatively affordable workforce and highly skilled workforce. So one of the latest announcements or developments in Bosnia, for example, is the fact that they have synchronized their mining code with that of Serbia, so that now any given explorer can explore on any given mineral exploration license for up to 7 years prior to the time when they are required to declare a resource. That's a plenty of time and an improvement to what was previously in place, which is only about 3.5 to 4 years. So they've realized that there's a slight pitfall in the regulatory process up to date. We have highlighted that to the government, and then together with the rest of the sector and colleagues, we have managed to convince them that if you really want to invest, you have to allow explorers ample time to develop these projects, which is exactly what they've done. They listened to the sector, worked together closely with us, and basically emulated the Serbian story. So supportive local governments, both on the local and governmental level, on the federal level, 10% corporate tax in both countries, actually 15% in Serbia, but 5% royalty on the finished product, a perspective and a good place to work and develop projects, as can be testified by the presence of all these majors. I mean, Rio Tinto, Vale, Dundee Precious Metals, Zijin Mining, Eldorado Gold, all operate in the region.
Well, thank you again, Alex, for coming on the show today. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover before I wrap things up?
No, I just would like to say that, again, a recent listing on the Canadian Securities Exchange, big ambitions to explore and take advantage of our first mover opportunity in Bosnia, targeting the Balkan Peninsula, underexplored, yet very prospective sector of the Western Tethyan Belt. Being a European explorer of strategically critical metals, I think in today's economy is particularly important, given the supply shortage that we experience globally, particularly in Europe. So I think we are very well poised to not only advance projects, but also be visible to the other major producers who operate in both regionally, but also continentally as well.
Thank you so much, Alex. We'll have you on again definitely very soon. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Megan.